Welcome back to another video. I have had just a doozy of a day today. Basically just spent all morning cleaning up after what just happened. But we're gonna carry on with another project that I might have kind of forgotten about, but also there is a little bit of backstory behind this. You might remember the tea wine. I made some wine out of English breakfast tea, added some sugar, added some yeast nutrient, and just let it ferment. Well, that was a while ago now. What happened is I went and I moved on to the next step and I was recording everything. Well, so I thought I was recording everything. Turns out I wasn't recording everything. Something was going on with my camera. Said it was recording, wasn't actually recording. Turns out I didn't have an SD card inside. So I had to restart the process. And that took another month. I think it's a month, a couple of weeks. And now finally, I am confident this is recording now. I am gonna double check RA after this just to make sure. But we're gonna move on with the tea wine. It's completely finished fermenting. We're gonna have to take it out of that bottle, move it into another bottle, let it settle, and then we can bottle it and then leave it to age. So here is tea wine 2.0. Exactly the same ingredients, exactly the same process, just another batch. And as you can see, this has stopped moving up here, which means the fermentation is basically done. Kind of moving right now, but that's just because I agitated it and it might be releasing any excess gas. We're gonna have to do what's called racking, which just means taking this, putting it into another bottle so that none of this at the bottom gets into there as well, because we want to leave all this stuff in the bottom in this bottle and we'll dump it. The only problem I have right now is I don't have another one of these that's empty. So instead I'm gonna have to use this and then I'll have to figure out how to cover it because I don't have a lid for this, but we'll figure it out. First things first is hygiene. We're gonna have to sanitize everything that touches the alcohol. So I'm gonna sanitize the inside of this. And this is just a no rinse brewing sanitizer. If you're into home brewing and stuff, you already know what this is. I use so much of this for all of my fermenting and home brewing. And then I'll just let this drip dry back here. Next up, I have to sanitize the siphon. That's all sanitized. So because of the way siphons work, basic physics, this needs to be higher than that. So I'm just gonna get a bucket, prop this up into a bucket, and then we'll start siphoning. I'm gonna use my trusty old kimchi pot. Let's stop this from rattling so much. Now we just start siphoning. Let's get the siphon going. Well, I don't know if you can hear it on the mic, but you can hear all the gas being released from this. Like it's holding the gas in the liquid, like almost like carbonation. For now, we'll just leave this going. This will slowly transfer to here. And the way that this siphon is designed is that at the bottom, it doesn't pick up liquid right from the bottom, it picks it like a couple centimeters above, so that it doesn't really disturb any sediment that might be at the bottom. Although I don't see much sediment in there. So we might have to cold crash this and also maybe add something to help it cold crash even further. So that's mostly transferred. It didn't look like there's much sediment in the bottom there, which means I'm gonna have to probably cold crash this for a while. So this video is gonna take me a bit longer than I expected to film. I might see if I have anything like gelatin to put in here or anything like finings just to help settle this faster, but it's still quite cloudy, which is kind of annoying because it's just take longer then. Anyways, we're done siphoning for now. Let's take this out. We can, however, in the meantime, give this a taste. I don't expect this to taste too good at the moment because it has just finished fermenting. I think it'll be quite harsh, which is why you have to age it. But let's give it a taste. It really does not smell like tea at all. You wouldn't know this is made from tea. It smells really floral and fruity and still quite sweet. You know what I think it might have been? I might have used ale yeast for this batch. Ale yeast kind of conks out around 9% alcohol, which means this has exceeded 9% alcohol and the yeast has died, so it's not really doing anything else, which means this is still quite sweet. It tastes delicious, definitely tastes alcoholic. Now that I taste it, it does kind of taste like a sweet tea with alcohol in it. But I think with some aging, it should be even better. What we can do actually is take a reading and just see how much sugar is left in this. I'll give this a minute just to settle down the bubbles a bit. But right now I cannot see what the measurement is because it's just all bubbles. Okay, let me see if I can see this now. Okay, we're hovering around 1.025, which means it still has a bit of sugar in it. Because of that, I'm not actually going to crash it in this jar. I am just going to clean out the demijohn that it was in before and then reuse that and put the airlock back on just in case it does want to ferment a bit more. So inputting those numbers into an ABV calculator, as of right now, this is sitting around 6% alcohol, which when I think about it, if I try and carbonate this, that would make a pretty nice sort of sparkling tea wine, sparkling tea beer. Either way, once it's sparkling and ice cold, that would be pretty tasty. Okay, everything is sanitized again. Let's siphon this again. Okay, that's done siphoning again. So I am gonna slap the airlock on this, throw this in the fridge for a few days, and then we'll finish filming this once it's ready, hopefully. Airlock back on. Just because this is running low on liquid, I'm gonna top it up again. Into the fridge, and we'll be back when something happens to this. Before I end this video, I just realized that even if I used an ale yeast that conks out around 9%, that tea right now is only about 6%, so it's still got a ways to go, so it still can ferment. So what I might actually do is, instead of cold crashing this, I am actually just gonna set it back down to ferment even further, which might take a couple of weeks, might take a couple of months. So we'll have to see about that, which means it won't be in this video, it'll have to be in a third video where we finish it off. I was really hoping it'd be done by now, but I guess that's the way these things work, they just take time. So in the meantime, that's gonna be the end of this video. Stay tuned, subscribe if you wanna see more of just other things that I do. I'm gonna be going to Korea soon as well, so that'll be a whole thing too. And it might even have to be after I come back from Korea that we check in on this again. But for now, that's the end of this video.